Rainbeau Mars, who was born under a double rainbow in a teepee in the Ozarks, has turned her early and very interesting beginnings into a full-time occupation. She is known as the supermodel of yoga teachers. Her career embraces all aspects of yoga. She is the founder of Eucalyptus Fitness System, has produced many DVDs, is a global ambassador for Adidas, and her favorite yoga pose apparently is the handstand or the headstand.
That's funny. Probably the handstand. You're good. You pay attention.
I do pay attention because I can't imagine how you do that handstand. If it's the one I saw, you were on your hands, yes, but your body was going to the right. Is that the handstand you like?
That's a forearm balance. That I could get you to do that. That's not too difficult.
I think that would take a while, perhaps.
Yeah, the handstand was my impossible is nothing because I didn't think I'd be able to do it in this lifetime, but now it's actually become actually my reference point. I can tell how things are going in my mind and emotionally if I can stick a handstand or not.
I was thinking with your background, given your background, you didn't have a chance. You either had to be a healer, a yoga instructor, a massage therapist. And tell me a little bit about that. Born in a teepee.
I did everything I could to resist it. I mean, yes, you know there was... My mother is the product of, I think, rebelling against she was an upper class flower child. And so she rebelled.
Perfect, there's money. So you can follow your...
She said, no, I don't need it. And so she sort of lived this bohemian lifestyle where she was making all the food, growing all the food, and feeding her community of people. And a couple weeks before she had me, she thought, this is hard. I'm going to go home and tell my parents, sure, I'll marry the heir to Walmart. But by that time, I was born in a double rainbow. You know, there was the double rainbow in the double. There was the double rainbow in the sky after I was born. So she thought it was a sign. I'm going to keep going as is and trust. But that made me a rebel. Actually, it didn't make me this young healer. I was doing everything but the lifestyle that I was seeing as I grew up. So
you were rebelling too? When you say you were doing everything but, you're born under the double rainbow, you have the mother who's a healer and a herbalist and your godparents.
Well, my mom has 15 books on natural medicine, so I was the guinea pig of the natural foods, lifestyle. I didn't take antibiotics. She would keep me home and feed me echinacea and astragalus and, whatever else when I got sick. And I'd go live with my godmother in Hawaii, who is the Ayurvedic doctor. So I was learning from them just as parents, but I dressed very conservatively. When people would say, oh my gosh, your mother's Brigitte Mars, you must be so healthy, I would, grab the pizza and, eat the tacos and just sort of do any...
Exactly.
When it's at your fingertips, you don't...
Please don't tell me I'm like my mother. Whatever. Exactly. I'm so not my mother.
Exactly.
Every girl says that. I don't know why. I know my girls say it.
It wasn't until I moved to LA and then I found out how valuable those tools were. And then I ended up utilizing them for myself and sharing them with people, and it became, what I was doing.
Sure. So when you get up in the morning, I know before you have breakfast, you probably salute the sun or do something like that. Tell me about your routine, how you embrace yoga, how you use it.
The greatest thing that yoga does is it gives me the ability to be flexible, because my schedule has definitely forced me to go with the flow. So I can't be too attached to something being the same way every day. I do my best to wake up and sort of download whatever's happening currently in the world, as well as maybe in the industry that I'm in, and then to get back to emails, actually. I do things like that when my mind is fresh.
To be with the breath is to be with that breathes you. Who said that?
Comment. That's a very nice quote. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, to be with the breath
is to be with that
is to be with that breathes you. When you work with someone, a movie star or not a movie star, and they're resisting a pose, their body is resisting a pose, what does that mean?
Resistance in the mind shows up in resistance in the body. So when you get on your mat and you figure out what's there, you realize that, oh my God, like that tension or that sadness or that anger or that fear is in my body. So you have this opportunity to face it and to breathe into it and to actually unravel it and then allow that to affect our emotional experience in life or our relationships or our jobs or whatever else we're up against.
So the Eucalyptus system, the Eucalyptus fitness system means what?
Rayoka means integration through the sun, and I was practicing yoga for many, many years until I realized if I used my mind and my visualization, I would focus on the sun at the core of my body. And when I'd inhale, I'd expand the sun through the core to the peripheral, the surface of the skin. And when I would exhale, I would draw it back in and strengthen my center, the fire at the core. I started using that in my practice, and it enhanced the practice times 100%. And then I would use martial arts movement and core conditioning as well to really give myself that edge on the mat. Life is not static, so why should our yoga practice be? So I was bringing movement into my practice.